Okay, so this is the second map of the tournament match. If you didn't watch the first one, you should probably watch that first because I explain what I'm doing right here, and I'm not going to go through that again. So going off of what I said towards the end of the last video, smoke grenades. There's no purpose behind what you're doing right now. I mean, I think your strat right now is a 3-1. Yeah, 3-1, and you're just throwing smokes, wasting time. You're getting the bow late on good side, so you need to be able to get bow. And not only that, we picked up bow without getting on cover first, which it sometimes it doesn't make a difference, but there you were getting shot. I mean, you probably would have gotten away if you just got on cover while you picked it up. In case you don't know, you can slide, you can be on cover on the cog side of the map and pick up bow. I mean, it's something that's been known for a long time, but a lot of teams overlook it sometimes, I guess. You should always make sure that you do that. But by the way, for people watching screen right now, I know their strat because I'm watching one of their guys' point of view, Vevion, who you can find the link that I'm watching in the description for this video. So if you're interested in, I'm watching that more than I'm watching mine because I'm kind of critiquing their gameplay. So this next round, my team just runs a straight up 4 down, and your team literally basically wastes an ink. I mean, by the time that your guy can even get a chance to throw it, we already have bow. We're taking over your side. You should have just held the ink. There's no point in using it. And your guys up top were entirely too slow getting snipe and getting back down low. We had nobody up top. So even though it's not something that you can know right off the bat, you had one of your guys just kind of sitting back lancering, which was a little bit pointless. I mean, you want to make sure your guy gets sniped, but you don't want to sit there for so long shooting at nothing that you're basically being taken out of the equation. Not to mention 2 of your guys are being pushed by 4 people down low. Your team should have been calling out that there's 4 people down low right from the beginning anyway. So unless smoke was getting in the way, I don't see how that wouldn't have been called out. Guy up top not sniping should have rotated down low, and snipe should have came down there as fast as possible. And here again on this round, there's smokes going off already, and it's just, I mean, I think your team's running a 4 down low on this round, and it's just, there's no point for the smokes. You're just clouding your own, your own vision. Not only that, but while the smokes were up, you were just, at least in Vevion's case, you were just lancering and moving, and the game doesn't tell you, but when you move while you're lancering, it throws off your shot. It can go a lot. It doesn't go straight, for example. Right here, you're doing it again, shooting at people who are more or less, you're not hitting them. It's just that simple. You might hit them every now and then, but if you would have just stood still or gotten on cover, you probably could have downed 2 or 3 people. On my perspective right now, I got caught between 2 of my teammates, each being rushed by 2 guys while I had a sniper. So I put myself in a bad situation and put them all in bad situations. Meanwhile, the other team was able to capitalize on it. They made 2 really smart pushes. Might have been a little bit smarter to just take out 1 guy, push 3 or 4 guys even on 1 guy rather than 2 on each, because it's not too hard to, it's not out of the equation for both guys to just win their 1v1s, especially when there's a sniper somewhere. One of those 2v1s could just instantly become a 1v1, and the situation could suddenly be a 2v2. I know I'm getting into a little bit too much detail there, but I would have gone with a 3v1 on 1 guy rather than 2 separate 2v2s. But anyway, I really like what you guys are doing right here. I'm trapped in sniper room, and there's literally nothing I can do. I mean, I can push out and push straight into 2 people hard aiming at me, or I can wait. And now you guys didn't play this perfectly. You should have got 2 inks and torque bow ammo. Instead, you just got 1, and the ink wasn't thrown that well. You should have communicated. Oscar or whoever was at the whoever was posted up hard aiming at me should have communicated where I was in the ink area. Maybe because the sides were flipped, left side is right side for 1 guy and whatever. But either way, you guys should have waited for 2 inks. If you're going to play it safe, you might as well play it as safe as possible. You're going to waste time to grab an ink, you might as well grab 2 inks and grab a torque bow. Just absolutely make sure that the other team can't win. Especially in a tournament, you want to just, you don't want to leave anything up to chance. I love preaching that to my teammates while they won't listen, but if that's a habit that you guys get into, you're going to find yourself coming out of a lot, you won't get clutched on basically, ever, if you can control those kind of situations. Now in this round, first you guys threw a bad ink, which is always a bad thing to have happen. You need to work on ink placement on bad side. And then your guy who flanked with a shotgun, which wasn't really, if you're going to counter a 4 down low, you want to just post up and lancer at people, because then you're pushing them into your teammates. we won't know if my team has 4 people down low. We don't know how many people are behind us if we're getting lancered. Maybe some guy got around L somehow or whatever. And you just want to force people into other people, especially when you have a lancer setup going on, which you guys did. You guys had us trapped. I mean, if Vevion, when you came up behind us, if you would have just lancered, you probably would have easily won that round. Shotgun flanking, you should have had a couple kills. I mean, you kind of got, you definitely got bullshitted out of a couple kills and probably shouldn't have got downed. But either way, lancering just would have been the safer option. It would have pushed everybody into your team, and you could have just relied on your teammate to get it done. Now right here, you guys should have won this 2v1 against the guy that's pushing. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in the back touching my dick with a sniper rifle. So it was really a 2v1, and you guys just missed more or less every shot. I mean, you can't really let that happen in a 2v2. If you get a 2v1 situation, you've got to make the most of it, because the 2v2 turns into a 2v1, and then you basically won the round if you can play it smart enough. But, that's so far what I've been going over. Pavilion was kind of like the opposite of Blood Drive. In Blood Drive, I kind of pointed out how you can't stick with one strat the whole time, how your start of round strats were just really stale. It wasn't necessarily bad, but you ran the same one every round. On Pavilion, it's kind of the opposite. Your guys' mid-round strategy was it was a total breakdown, round after round after round. We gave you guys like 3 rounds basically, and you basically didn't want them. And here again with the smokes, it's wasting time. I mean, in all honesty. Not to mention, your guy up top, I mean, he almost downed me, and nobody was even looking for the snipe from L-bag or anywhere, even from bench, to see, which just let me heal up. It let me get a shot on L. Almost had the guy go into mortar stairs, but whatever. Now right here, you guys have 4 people alive, and almost nobody's hitting shots. Now that's a bad situation. If you have 4 people on your side of the map and the other team's pushing, somebody's got to go down on the other team's side. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall apart. Now what happened here was, I kind of let one of you guys flank by accident by not calling it out. I thought I was going to be pushed. So, bad mistake on my part. 9 times out of 10, that won't happen, though. You can't rely on that to happen. It was a good flank, but not exactly likely to happen too many times. And then right here, you guys got trapped between 2 players and did a little bit of a trade-off. What I don't like right here about how you play this 1v1 Vevion is that when you were red right here, you poke out, and then you die. Now, he's already poking out, so if you're going to take the shot, you can't put yourself out there because you're already weak. All you have to do is blind fire off cover. If you blind fire on the cover, you might get down because you're still weak, but it's better than just sitting there and taking a shot, because if you take the shot out of cover, he's got an easy shot on you. You could have just waited for your health to come back, and then you could have blind fired around cover and probably gotten a 1-shot. I don't like to talk too much about one-on-one situations because it really just comes down to preference. Those are one of those situations where if the guy's around cover, all you have to do is blind fire. You don't have to put yourself into a bad situation like that.